University of Illinois. I graduated from Illinois. I played football. I ran indoor and outdoor track. How many know I was real busy? But I thank the Lord for busyness because it kept me on the right path. I met my wife, Robin, in Illinois. We just celebrated 29 years last week, so I'm so grateful for Robin. You know, playing football teaches you physical and mental toughness. When I graduated from Illinois, I was selected in the 7th round of the National Football League's NFL draft. Now, for those of you who don't know, the 7th round is the last round in the draft. How many know I came from the bottom? I was picked number 226. But you know, 226 is my birthday, so it's really cool. I just turned 53 yesterday, and I thank God for it. Yes. You know, a lot of people say, well, man, you're too little to play in the NFL. You're only 5'10", 172 pounds. Has anybody ever told you that you were too this or that to do something? I said, yes, I am vertically challenged, and I don't weigh a lot. But you know what the Lord gave me? He gave me speed. I ran a 4.24 in the 40. What is he giving you? What gift do you have? Don't ever let somebody tell you what you can't do. That wasn't in my notes, but I gave it to you anyway. You know, when people looked at me and said this, I viewed it as an opportunity, not an obstacle. I viewed it as an opportunity to make a generational impact in my country. I was blessed to play 9 seasons, as we said before. When I left the NFL, I went back to the Lone Star State and I served in the Texas House of Representatives. I served as associate pastor of Crescentwood Baptist Church. And all of those things to me are a great blessing. In 2019, I served as the executive director of the White House Opportunity and Revitalization Council in President Trump's first term under the tutelage of my dear friend and mentor, former HUD Secretary Dr. Benjamin Carson. And he has been a great blessing in my life. When I was leading Opportunity Zone Council, I traveled all over the country and saw firsthand the impact of Opportunity Zones and the role that they play in empowering every private sector and every government entity in our country to drive revitalization in America for forgotten men and women in our communities. And I'm excited for the success of not only the former Opportunity Zone legislation, but also this next chapter of Opportunity Zones that are coming up. So I'm really looking forward to expanding them and continuing the great work that we did in Opportunity Zones. And together, you and I can continue to deliver growth, self-sufficiency to every American in rural, urban, and tribal communities, and ultimately unleashing the potential in American people, releasing the potential in American families, releasing the potential in the next generation of leaders in this country, because God has blessed each of us with this potential. And so my dream is to help people in this country to realize their potential like others did for me, and Opportunity Zones are a great avenue to do such a thing. My business experience has also given me a great understanding of the struggles that you as home builders face. Whether it's burdensome regulations, high construction costs, or federal overreach. High construction costs, federal overreach, burdensome regulations. This experience has given me an inside look into how to tackle our housing affordability crisis and the importance of working with experts such as yourself in this room who are the closest to the issue and the people that are affected by it every single day. And I share this story, I share my experiences, because the challenges that HUD faces are not only vital to our nation, vital to our businesses, but they are deeply, deeply personal to me. These are not things that I just heard about or things that I just read about. The struggles when it comes to housing, when it comes to brokenness, when it comes to families. These are experiences that myself and my family have not only seen, but we have lived. And that unique perspective is something I bring to the table here at HUD. So needless to say, I am ready. I'm ready to get in the huddle. I'm ready to get in the game. I'm in the game. How about you?
Yes.
Yes.
uplift American communities and make sure that everybody has an opportunity. And we talked about it backstage to achieve the American dream. And I know and I hope that you all are ready too, because each of us understands the housing affordability and the homelessness crisis that faces our nation. How many know we have a housing affordability crisis?
Yeah.
How many know we have a homelessness crisis?
Oh, yeah.
HUD's latest point-in-time report from December of last year, it revealed an 18% increase in homelessness in the past 12 months alone, 33% increase since 2020. The last report identified an estimated 771,000 homeless individuals across our country on one single night. That was from January of 2024 in the dead of winter, and many of these were families out on the streets. These struggling Americans, these people are yours and mine. They are our fellow citizens. And the problem continues to worsen in our country. Despite the federal government throwing more and more money, there has been record funding, and yet we have 770,000 homeless Americans in our country. How many know that is unacceptable? Well, we're going to do something about it.
Oh, yeah.
5 years ago, if you made $60,000 in this country, you could afford a home. Today, the income needed to afford a house is more than twice that. Median home prices reached a record high of $426,900 last June. Mortgage rates rose from 2.8% in January of 2021 to a high of nearly 8% in October 2023. Home sales in 2024 fell to their lowest level since 1995. The data tells us that we cannot keep running the same old plays and getting the same unacceptable results. Something has to change.
Yes.
We can't keep running the same old plays
Yes.
and getting the same unacceptable results. We have to change. And while we realize this is a crisis, let's think of it not as a crisis, but as an opportunity. This is an opportunity to bring new life. The word revitalization means to bring new life into individuals, into families and communities across America. This is an opportunity to decrease the cost and increase the supply of safe, quality, and affordable housing. That's the opportunity that's before us. Just one day after standing up our task force at HUD, we uncovered $260 million in savings for the American people. After 1 week, we uncovered $4 million in council contracts for DEI cultural transformation, including outward mindset training and diversity and inclusion research subscription services. $4 million that could have gone to serve the American people. Time wasted when we could have been serving the American people that we at HUD have been called to serve. And I will tell you this today, and I want to be very clear, that DEI at HUD is dead.
Yeah.
We're going to use valuable taxpayer dollars for programs that solve the homelessness crisis, to create more housing, and provide disaster relief to American families in need. We're going to be very deliberate and detailed about every dollar of taxpayers like yourself to serve the people that HUD is called to serve. We found $1.9 billion, that was misplaced during the Biden administration. These funds are supposed to be used for administrative services and financial services to carry out the programs at HUD, but they weren't being utilized and they were accruing through the years. And so with our DOGE task force, we found $1.9 billion, but we have returned those and de-obligated those back to the Treasury to be used for the American people, for purposes that serve the people in this country. I thank the President Trump's leadership for returning transparency and accountability to the agency at HUD by identifying and eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse. And you'll hear me say this a lot through the years, but in order to serve Americans well, we have to get our fiscal house in order. HUD's fiscal house was bulldozed HUD's fiscal house was bulldozed during the previous administration, but now we are rebuilding the stage and the foundation of stable fiscal responsibility and regulatory reform at HUD, and we're taking inventory. How many have y'all heard that word in a long time, to take inventory? My dad used to work at Safeway. Y'all ever been to Safeway? And I used to go to work with him late at night, and they were taking all the stuff off the shelves. I said, Daddy, why are they taking all the food off the shelves? He said, we're taking inventory. What's causing us to win and what's causing us to lose? What's causing us to serve people? What's causing us not to serve? Well, we're taking inventory at HUD of every program. Is this program being used for its intended purpose? Is it serving the people that it's intended to serve? If it's not, it's done. If it is, how can we make it better? Inventory is a great thing, would you say?
Yes.
We're getting rid of all cumbersome regulations that make it harder for individuals and families to realize the American dream of home ownership. A home, and I know we all agree, is more than just four walls. It's the foundation of a thriving community and thriving families. And I'm sure you already know the regulatory costs are almost 40% of building multifamily and nearly a quarter of the cost of building single-family homes. To decrease costs and increase supply of affordable housing, we have to terminate unnecessary, ineffective, and costly regulation. Yes, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time that we unleash the power of the private sector and the free market to build our way out of this housing affordability crisis. We're going back to the drawing board to restore efficiency at HUD. I like to get on the whiteboard and ideate and draw it on the board and put the ideas up and listen to the team and say, how can we be better? Where are we failing? Where are the gaps? Well, that's what we're going to do at HUD. We're carrying out some of the largest regulatory reform actions in history, including striking down a binary rule that socially engineered neighborhoods without listening to industry experts like yourself and families of America. We're returning power to the local leaders who understand their community's needs better than Washington bureaucrats. We're following through on President Trump's promise to save the suburbs of America. And most importantly, we're giving back to the American people the choice and opportunity to live in neighborhoods and communities absent of Washington's top-down social engineering experiences. I'm pleased to report we had a big regulatory reform win earlier this week. The Council on Environment Quality issued an interim rule that eliminates compliance requirements under the National Environment Protection Act, streamlining the regulatory processes for home builders. As experts in this industry, you may have experienced delays in your infrastructure and development projects due to lengthy and costly environmental reviews required by NEPA. This is only the beginning. We will continue to reduce all regulatory burdens that are artificially inflate housing costs and inhibit private investment, job creation, and home building. Under this approach, HUD will also expand the Opportunity Zone Initiative, which we talked about earlier. In our first term in Opportunity Zones, we created economic prosperity for the forgotten men and women of America, giving them an opportunity to build a sturdy foundation for themselves and their children. Through public-private partnerships, I'm going to say it again, public-private partnerships, over 1 million Americans have been lifted out of poverty through Opportunity Zones. Affordable housing was brought back to the American communities for the first time in a long time. Since passing the Opportunity Zones, the the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act in 2017, 8,764 designated Opportunity Zones have attracted $84 billion in new investment. And this led to new infrastructure and business, workforce training, entrepreneurship, safety, and housing revitalization. Employment went up. Home values went up. Values went up by 3.4% with no observable increase in rent and opportunity zones, leading to billions of dollars of investment for homeowners. We're going to restore integrity at HUD. You know, the government doesn't talk about integrity a lot. But to me, that's the only way to live. Be transparent, be honest, integrity. We'll expand on these innovative, result-driven solutions in these next 4 years, and hopefully we will set the stage now so that those that come behind us will follow the same precedent and principles that we do in these next 4 years. You know, Scripture tells us in Ecclesiastes that two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. Thank you for remaining active. Thank you all for remaining engaged in solving our housing affordability crisis and a homelessness crisis in our country. I've seen your 10-point housing plan for increasing our nation's housing supply, and I'm grateful for your partnership in these efforts. You know, a quarterback can't run plays by himself. He needs his team. And I'm gonna make it even better. Our quarterback can only cover for about a good 3 to 4 seconds effectively. You gotta have a bad D-line to rush the quarterback and some mean, fast linebackers to get after the running backs. I may be the one who has been appointed the quarterback for HUD, but it is not lost on me that I need a team. And so I want to say thank you to all of you for what you do, how you do, and what you will continue to do. We're going to be bound by our shared mission to make the American dream a reality for all Americans. I'm here. I'm for you. I'm with you. Thank you for this time to get in the huddle with you today. God bless you. I look forward to continue to work with each of you and to make this American dream a reality for all once again in our country. God bless you.
And now, welcome to the stage.